like worst case scenario, it doesn't. Worst case scenario, it doesn't help. Best case scenario, it kills me. Just fucking do it now.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode of Beers and Stories. Today we've got my buddy Garrett. Garrett, tell everyone hello.
Hey, everybody.
So, Garrett and I, let's see, I've known you for what, 2-3 years now?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, he's also got some rental property, and then Garrett and I share a mutual trait in that anytime we're trying to have fun during the day, typically with beer involved, water intrudes in our rental properties.
That's very true. When you get the text from your tenant that there's gallons of water flowing from the upstairs,
and you're going, but I'm not done.
And then you ask him, can you shut the water off?
No
clue.
No, that would involve actually knowing what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
What property was that? That was your condo?
That was my rental condo.
So did you buy that? Did you buy that to live in first and then rent it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought that in 2012.
Okay.
And then bought the next one in 2015, and moved into the one in 2015 and remodeled it.
Gotcha.
And then I turned the other one into a rental property.
And then you've never been able to peacefully date me since that day.
So this gets us into the next topic I know you want to talk about. But like, I've had the same tenant in there for almost 3 years. And relatively, he's an interesting guy. I mean, that might be putting it mildly, but he's always paid on time. His rent is always there.
Quality.
Aside from even with the water incident, he didn't have renter's insurance, and so he. And I had to displace him for like 3 or 4 days. And he was a champ about it. You know what I mean?
Really?
I even worked it out with the company that was doing the rehab.
Yeah.
And we like slid in some money in the budget to give him a hotel for a couple days while they redid the carpet.
I love it.
It was a great thing. Like, it worked out. And he was really accommodating.
How long was he out for? 3 or 4 days?
It's like two nights he had to be gone.
2 nights? Jesus.
So,
buy renter's insurance, kids.
It's totally,
every time.
It is totally worth it.
Why you would not do that.
For like $8 a month.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 13. So you gotta skip 1 day of Chipotle a month and you're fine.
Yeah. But then this summer I get this random text. It's like probably I was in DC and it was like 3 in the morning. I didn't get it till the next morning, but I look at it. It's from my tenant. And he goes, "Did you ever have problems with Amazon packages being stolen off your doorstep?" And I was like, no. Like, I don't know. I mean, the neighborhood's always been safe. It's always been fine.
Yeah, because that place is gated, right?
No, it's not. It's not. But
it's walled off. Like, there's that one entrance.
You really have to go in there. There's no reason to be, and it doesn't flow through. So there's not a lot of like.
There's
traffic.
Okay.
There's no. They've got the back gate always locked. So there's no in and out.
So unless you're creeping Amazon packages.
Well, which I found, that was like in July-ish, right?
Yeah.
And then, what was it? Probably September, I get a notice from the condo association that says my tenant has been arrested and that they believe that he has violated the no crime addendum. Which, the lawyer in me immediately goes, well, he's just been arrested. He hasn't actually...
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah,
I haven't been to law school, but I'm pretty sure I remember that.
So but I'm like, all right, let's call. I know the community manager who's actually usually on site.
Yeah.
Because I called the association, and of course they don't know anything. They're just like, we just send letters. We don't know.
Yeah, no, we have a printer and a stamp, and that's all we know.
Yeah. So I talked to the guy, and he gives me the story that essentially my tenant had pulled a gun on somebody. And that he had ended up pulling some videotape for some nice Scottsdale officers. But this was back in July, so I'm like, now this text starts to make sense.
Oh, Jesus.
So I go to Scottsdale to do a records request to pull the police report.
Oh, I was there last week.
And it was
nice
interesting.
Ladies.
They're
so nice.
Oh, they're super nice.
Yeah.
They were really helpful.
Yeah.
And they like explained the whole process to me. And they were like, okay, so we'll give you the the detective gets to review it first to see if it can draw to you. And I'm like, what would be so wrong? Like, So I get
like detective.
Yeah. So I get the police report, And it's actually very, very detailed. There was like, first of all, because it's Scottsdale, 12 officers responded, so there were like 12 different officers.
No, they're a little bored here for sure.
Yeah. So I realize now. Long and short of it is could happen to any of us on a Sunday, having a few beers. He must have been drinking that day. It sounded like.
God.
Some nice woman with 2 kids in her van was in there looking for her realtor. They were going to look at a property. She mistook him and called out. He turned around and came up to talk to her and asked her what she was doing in the property. And made an insinuation that she was there to steal packages potentially. And he ends up pulling a 9mm. Out of his waistband. So she leaves in a hurry, and they even have it on video of him pointing the weapon at them as they're leaving. It's like, again, this is all in the police report. I'm just saying this is a public records request. This does not bode well.
Yeah. You were across the country, to your credit, when this went down.
So he decides.
Oh my God.
He then decides to walk over to a nice little local establishment that we know well.
Would that be the TT or the closing scene?
Yeah. We know it. We probably shouldn't. I don't want to locate the property that closely. But so he walks. So they get him coming back. From
the local watering.
So now he's probably even more intoxicated than he was when he decided to do that.
Oh God. So we've got blood alcohol content.
Yeah.
A 9mm on video for a woman and 2 kids in a minivan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing to get out of this one. I assume he has got some legal representation. So I have not even let him know that I know about this.
Probably heard of that.
So my plan is I do the thing of least resistance.
Yeah.
The lease is up in a couple months. We're just not going to renew the lease.
Sorry, I have to.
I'm actually thinking of moving back into that one and putting the other one on Airbnb and doing that for the high season.
Yeah.
And
when is his lease up? A couple months?
Yeah, it'll be up like December.
Okay, so
by that time he'll be convicted probably, and then we can be done with this, and we'll just say, all right, thank you very much. Right?
Did he pay the rent last month?
He's paid it every year. This happened in July, and he's paying on time. Like, that's what I'm saying. Didn't miss a beat.
Best tenant ever.
It almost makes you sad that you have to get rid of him. But like the neighbors hate him. Like, I've definitely gotten that now. Like, I've gotten calls from the neighbors. They're like, he's weird. He's doing. I'm just like, well, I understand.
Yes.
But would you go through the hassle of evicting somebody early?
Absolutely not.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot to that.
I'm having to do it now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have to go down on Monday.
Yeah. So what's going on with yours? Because you had something on. It was Friday.
So Friday morning, it's kind of the same thing, right? Where you get like, I would call it the tripwire. The bell goes off in the jungle and something's coming.
Yeah.
So I show up Friday morning. And my guys are up there. We're redoing some framing on the carport, and the head guy Keith comes up and hands me a business card and said, "You might want to call this guy back." So I flip it over, and it's I forget which agency, but it is someone who works for Maricopa County, wears armor, and recovers people who might not want to be recovered.
Gotcha.
So I call this nice gentleman back, and they're very interested in speaking to one of the tenants. Okay, I know where this person is.
Is this tenant actually on the lease though?
They are not. Yeah. It is the adult child of a tenant who is on the lease.
Yeah.
Right. So this person, I believe, is in their late 20s.
Yeah.
So I go back and forth with this guy a couple of times. Went and talked to the tenant in question. I learned that the person, I thought it was one of the people in the apartment. It turns out it was another. I missed that boat. So talked to the tenant, let the officer know, said, listen, the person you want to talk to is in here. This is the story I'm getting from them. They said, there's a probation violation because they didn't pay one of their fees. They've got the money. They're going to go see the probation guy and do what you got to do. And I get a text back that just says, this isn't about a probation fee. I'm like, oh God. So fast forward 90 minutes or so, I'm standing in the alley, there's sawdust flying everywhere, and I see a minivan creeping down, parked next to a dumpster, the nice gentleman get out, full gear, right? SWAT vest, tack ratio, handcuffs, taser, the whole 9 yards. Peek around the corner of the building. Oh, there's 2 more over there. Peek around. 6 cops in SWAT gear into the apartment. The part where I really started.
They didn't knock the door in or anything, right?
They did. I told them they could if they wanted. I want these people gone. Like,
Yeah.
I got new doors on order. But like, if you got a king, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Where I really started freaking out was where I heard all 6 of them. No, excuse me. There were 5 in the apartment, 1 outside. I heard all of them start screaming, "Show me your hands." Never like. That just, it never goes well, right? We've all seen the TV show. You've been to law school.
Yeah. Well, the next sound usually is pop, pop, pop.
Pop or zzz, one of the 2.
Yeah. You don't hear the taser that often.
Yeah. So fortunately, I guess the hand showed up. Yeah. So six guys pulled the tenant out, put this person in the back of a police car, and then explained to me that they had, I think, 2 or 3 outstanding warrants on them.
That's nothing, though. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't for parking tickets either.
I commend you for buying that property because remember we went and looked at that 3-plex down in Mesa that I considered, and I definitely realized that I don't want to be a slumlord.
Yeah.
When
it's not
they,
good.
When they had already leased out, remember that was the 3rd one was unleased, the 2 were already leased out, and they were really good rents. But then we met the tenants.
Yeah.
And it was a couple with an adult daughter, an adult son, the adult daughter's boyfriend, and then 5 fucking dogs that were on. Sorry, my language, but like.
No, we don't censor this.
Like,
You're good.
I was like, where did all this come from? Because
Yeah.
the lease, I saw the lease, and I'm like, oh, you put somebody in here that has there's 2 people on the lease. There's 5 people living here, and there's dogs that weren't nothing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
not on the
what
lease.
did you? The guy had obviously just like, I need to get some rent money back on this,
Yeah.
and just like threw some people in there. And I'm like, this is gonna be my headache.
You're very much so. And I can tell you that it can involve handcuffs, texting SWAT team officers, you know. I mean, and it's one of those, like the interesting part about it is I have some good tenants in this building. I think that place in Mesa would have been the same. Like the good people they're scared of the bad people, right? Because when you get down to a certain demographic, like, you know, you and I are lucky, like, dude, we live in Scottsdale, we have good jobs, we own real estate, like, I mean, we work for it, but like, that's good, right? Craft it, and it's awesome. And
I grew up more closely related to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was in those neighborhoods. Like we had a, you know.
You
so
wanna-
I
you wanna
get
get
that.
out.
Exactly. That's what I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. For me, like the building that I'm working on now, I've literally had people walk into the job site and meet me and say, I saw your office around the corner and I want to rent from you. Whenever you're done, like, you call me. I will pay, you know, and I told them the rent's going to be high. They're like, I don't care. Like, we're so happy this building's been a problem. Like, these people have been a problem. I'm like, well, I can now text the SWAT team whenever I want.
That's awesome.
Oh, but yeah.
I assume you're concealing carrying the whole time you're down there.
So funny enough that you say that. So I was talking to the cop, and, you know, full disclosure, I mean, I own plenty of weapons, but I don't actually carry a pistol in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I do carry a baton, those cop batons.
Yeah.
And I had a long talk with the cop about it, because he actually, you know, is Arizona, right? So he goes, wait, you don't have a gun in your truck? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
And I explained it to him. I said, you know, because I carried for 3 years of my old work in the van and stuff down the hood.
Yeah.
And I talked to the cop very frankly. I said, listen, I don't want to throw a weapon and use it, right? So like, you pull a pistol out, like protect it, and it's back, right? But a baton, like, if you know what you're doing, you know, and I explained to him, because we got some local knuckleheads in the neighborhood, but a baton, you can put somebody down, you can defend yourself, but no one's going to die.
Yeah, but the problem in Arizona is that everybody's got a gun.
Well, and
like,
that's
you pull out your baton, and then somebody just says, all right.
Yeah, bang, bang.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And in this neighborhood, you know, the cops, for the record, I actually had another police interaction later that day. Friday had a lot of police in my life. Fortunately, it was multiple police interactions. I did not get arrested. I didn't break any. I broke one law. It was a noise ordinance, and I'm very sorry. But the cop was actually telling me in that, he said in this neighborhood, he's been patrolling there for 10 years, like, we don't really have shootings. He's like, the local knuckleheads, like, they might beat somebody's ass, they might stab them, but like, there's no real guns.
Well, first of all, that neighborhood is literally a quarter mile by a quarter mile, and surrounded by beautiful Scottsdale. Like
exactly.
This is just the last bastion of like what Scottsdale said will allow you your affordable housing. Like
so it's not. I mean, we're not talking the deep dark.
No, like we could never get that back. Like, that's just how it is.
But yeah, so the baton thing, you know, I made the choice. Like I said, I mean, I could carry concealed, but I would rather, you know, I've stuck to zip ties and a baton in my truck. So not a serial killer. I'm just a landlord. You know, like this isn't. Don't read into this. You know, I passed the background check.
Well, I'll say this: at least having the whole building to yourself. Like I'll definitely say that managing condos, it's the condo associations which are the biggest job.
Completely.
Like, I'm actually the president on one of mine right now. How this happens, I have no idea.
Well,
I mean, really, what it comes down to is that I'm the youngest person on the board, and they just didn't want to do any work.
Yeah.
And they screwed it up so badly last year that they're just looking for somebody to straighten it out.
Can you just take this massive pile of shit off?
Yeah.
And sounds like a great gig. I hope it pays well.
Oh yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, if you need some more volunteer work, I could get some people to talk to.
So we fight about the pools every year because we have 2 pools.
Yeah.
And it costs $6,000 to heat 2 pools from January to March.
Get out.
Yeah.
$6 grand?
$6,000 in gas bills.
You could buy a solar water heater for $1,500.
I know. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to drag them into it. But these people are so like dead set. They're like. We even sent out like a little survey to all. It's a small association. It's like 24 units. We sent it out, and it was like. I think we had like of the 24 units, we got like 16 responses. Like 8 were yes, we want to heat the pools, and there were 9 no's, but I don't want to pay for it. Because we told them how much it would cost. We're like, it's an extra $25 a month for the whole year if you want to heat it for those 3 months. So there was literally one person in there that wants to heat it but doesn't pay for it. You know what I mean? There were 9 people that were like, no, I don't want to heat the pools. I don't want to pay for it. Like,
wow.
It was an interesting. It's going to be my re-election is not guaranteed because these people expect when they come down here in the winter that pool is going to be heated.
Yeah, no, and it's not.
Well, I explained to them if you really want it for the week you're down here, because most of them are snow. Like there's a lot of snowbirds.
Okay.
Because it's transitioning.
Yeah.
You know, we're going through that, and actually that's another thing that we're working on.
Yeah.
Is we sent out another one at the same time where half of the board, more than half of the board actually, is against the short-term rentals. And they wanted to do we just amended our CCNRs 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and they couldn't get it through on there to change to no short-term rentals. And now they want to do.
So what's their cutoff? Is it 30 days?
No, there's no limit on short-term rentals.
Oh, there's none now.
Yeah, that's why I bought the place in the first place, because I've always intended to turn it into an Airbnb.
Sure. And move back into the 9mm palace.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I ain't afraid.
You've heard bullets flying. I understand.
But we sent it out, right? And I was just on a board meeting last month, and this is the part that that kills me. And so they got the results back from the survey, and it would take them 16 units would have to vote to amend the CCNRs to not less than 30-day rentals. And we found 10 of the owners that were like, no, we don't want to amend it. And so because it's 10 to 12, the 2 people didn't vote for some reason, but it was essentially 10 to 12, and the majority of the one building was no's. They're like, well, what if we just split the association? If we just split the buildings and go to our separate ways.
I mean, is that bad?
I think it makes me nervous that like when they don't get their way, they just want to take their ball and go home. It is bad because we share.
You should have grown up in the South. It'll give you an idea of the mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The stupidity is just. It's really hard to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you don't like the rules, so you're just gonna leave? What? Come on, guys. What are we, toddlers? Yeah. But yeah, no, I hear you.
It scares me though, like because we already. Oh, get this. So the board, when I was on it for a year, then I was off it, and then now I'm on it again. the board in that year had managed to switch the insurance policy to cover everything inside the units. And they never really told anybody. But apparently we've had 2 water leaks, and they submitted to the units in one of the other buildings.
Yeah.
And they submitted it to their insurance company, who submitted it to our overall insurance company.
And then your premium
and they paid it. We got dropped.
Did you really?
We got dropped and had to go. I just had to. I'm like, we can't afford that anymore. We have to go to only outside coverage.
Sure.
Like just the outside of the building, which is what every condo I've ever had is.
Buy a condo policy. Condo policies are what, $300 a year?
Well,
stupid.
we got dropped. Had to raise our premium from $5,000 to $10,000. And our premium just for the outside stuff was doubled. Yeah. Like, these are the sorts of. This is why, like, I'm kind of the mindset, like, I need to get away from condos. Like, I've really enjoyed the not having to maintain stuff on the outside.
Sure.
But it's going to be too big of a hassle. And I've noticed that the management companies, they don't know anything.
No, they don't.
Like, these are people that are just collecting a check. It is the biggest racket. I should probably start this gig.
You want to?
We should.
You can draft it because we don't actually have to do anything. We could probably run it from right here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because all they do is collect a check and then make recommendations. And
just send your mail to the bartender.
We're gonna. It's stupid. They have been all over us. We're suckers. They just suck money from us.
No.
They're like, oh, you want to do a survey? That's $300 right there, just in mailing costs alone. We're just gonna do that
to mail out 24 letters.
Like, they don't even have, like, and these places are so backwatered. They don't have conference call lines, even though, like, associations, like, typically the board could be all over the United States.
Yeah.
And they want to do it. They're like, let's do a board meeting. And I'm like, do we have a conference call line? And they're like, no. I'm like, what century are you in? Like, seriously.
Guys, come on.
Yeah.
So do you remember, you ever watched the show Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
So one of my favorite TV shows of all time, right? Where Ron Swanson is the man.
Yeah.
There's a scene in there where Leslie Knope is trying to educate the senior citizens in Long about STDs, right? And they're like in the back just screaming obscenities.
Yeah.
The board meeting for those old condos I had, right? Taylor there and Andy and all those guys. I went into one. The same thing, right? It's in the community center, down right around the corner from the apartment building, like not a nice spot. And it was, I mean, not to be rude, but like there was 80 senior citizens in a room complaining about the most stupid shit I've ever heard. Yeah. One guy literally stood up and he was like, "Can you tell the brown fellow to not cut the grass so short?" I'm like, dude.
So much wrong with that.
It's 2017, like,
2 years.
You can't do that.
3 years ago when I was on the board before.
You can't do that.
The one board member literally proposed changing the CCNRs to make it a 55-plus community.
Oh, Christ on the bike.
Because these kids are just too rambunctious.
I'm telling you.
I was like, you literally think I'm going to vote for something that would make me leave my own condo.
Yeah.
Like, what is up with you? Like,
right. I'd like to vote you for your homelessness.
Like, what was that? What?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
One of the happiest days of my real estate investing career, hands down, was walking out of the title office. I sold all 3 of those condos to the same person. Top dollar, cash, God.
Boy, you really crushed it.
Dude, I crushed that deal. That's how I got the apartments. And it was plucked out, like, cashier's check in hand. And the last thing I did the day after I closed, just to piss them off, I took one more load of recycling over to their dumpster. Because there was this old lady, she lived right by the recycling dumpster, and like, recycle, right? You need to. So if we had extra from the house, I'd throw in the Ranger and drive it over to the condo and recycle, right? She'd come out, "Do you live here?" And I always told them no. No, I don't. I'm gonna report you to the board.
Yeah, one of my not prouder moments of the last year was, there's an alleyway right behind the condos, and there's garbage bins all the way up there for all the different ones in the back alley.
Sure.
And there's recycling here and there, and we have 2 recycling at one building and then 1 all the way down at the other. Yeah. But there's one right across, and I just walked across and dumped the recycling across the alley, not even thinking about it.
Sure.
I've done it since I lived there for 2 years. Like I just did it. Some guy comes out and just like, "What are you doing putting recycling in our recycling?" He's like, it fills up, and then I'm like, there's literally like your building over there walks across to ours over there. Like I'm like, this is
an alley, man.
Yeah. I'm like, that building over there, like there's the one really run down kind of like place or whatever. Like, they don't even have garbage. They just use ours. Like that rental property company, I've kind of wanted to call them and be like, you do realize that you don't have one garbage can for the entire like building. There's not one recycling, not one garbage can.
I've been to some rural places.
Yeah,
and they have garbage cans.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, how long they've been getting away with, like, you're a property management company, and you're just like, dude, this garbage bill is a mess. Like, God. If you just don't buy one, all these other suckers are putting them out here.
Oh, piracy is alive and well in the desert.
They have got to be making like a killing off that
and you know every time, and you know there's an invoice to the owner for waste disposal. They're giggling every time the bill goes out.
Oh yeah.
Back when we were younger, we did cool stuff. Now we get in fights about recycling.
Exactly. Which is precisely the reason why I'm not even going to bring up the dumpster thing with the other, because I'm not going to be that old guy that's like, stay off my lawn.
Yeah, if I make that phone call, I am now 50 years older.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
as long as it takes me to hit send.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, man, the HOA communal living is a thing.
Yeah. I think my next purchase will be a home. I'm thinking about selling the new condo.
Yeah?
And
you probably get a pretty penny for that place.
I'm thinking that right now it's a good time, and I'm tired of the fight. And I think that if they're talking about splitting the community, there's a big part of me that's like, I don't want to be around for that.
Oh, for sure. And the great part about real estate is you can't get busted for insider trading.
There you go.
It's not illegal, so you know something's coming down the pipe. I mean, man,
I know that there's talk. I'm like, I put it on. I'm like, I'm gonna maybe do it through like the high season with Airbnb, and then put it on the market and see what it does next summer.
If you list it, so I don't know if you've ever met Charles, but he's my real estate agent here. Great guy. Sold to Antonio their place. He's done home mine. If you list that place, if you ride out the high season money, list that place April 1, you are going to get dollars.
That's what that's my plan. There's part of me though that I'm talking to one of the other board members and he wants to kind of do the same thing. He owns the one right above me. And he's like, I cut off after the last board meeting. He texted me. He goes, that's insane. He goes, I stopped taking reservations after April in my Airbnb. He goes, I think I'm gonna sell it next summer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that is a great. I don't want to have two of them on the market at the same time, which is the only thing I'm a little bit nervous about.
Can you hack his Airbnb account? Hey man, what's your password?
I honestly think letting him sell first will probably benefit me because I think he'll go for top dollar. And his has been redone really nicely.
There's a triplex off
I think he'll get over
across the canal from you. Just came up.
Oh really?
Yeah. You know that little triangle neighborhood right across the canal from you?
Yeah.
I've been creeping it, dreaming if I ever had the money. But yeah, there's a triplex that just came up in there. 5 1/4 on a pretty decent sized piece of dirt.
We're gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah.
Did your neighbor ever sell the?
No.
I'm not sure this is actually entertaining for anybody. Us talking about this, but
that's all right. That's Kate's problem. We just get to drink and talk.
Well, we should get another beer.
Yeah. Very good. I don't know if I ever got this. So you moved to here and you were working down in Yuma, right?
Yeah, okay, so originally I was in Minnesota. I was practicing law for like 6 months after. This is like 2009, you know?
Oh yeah.
And so it was like
the world ended.
Yeah, exactly. Like all the jobs had like gone, like I've been networking the whole way through law school. Like, 'cause my family doesn't know. They're not lawyers, they're not doctors. Like I was the first person to really ever do graduate school.
When did you graduate law school?
In 2009. Oh, I took the bar in 2009.
I know people who were waiting tables after law school.
Yeah, it was rough. Like I was very lucky. Like literally, I took the bar, and 3 days later I was in South Dakota putting a roof on a house for my dad because I didn't know where I was going to be making money from.
Oh my God!
And my buddy, I had to drive out of town to where I get cell phone reception. And my friend who had a small law firm called me and said, I got a $1.2 million lawsuit case that I need somebody to look at. Can you come back? So I was working for him on this case, and I was back in my law school library using my old Westlaw login still. It was good for like another 3 months to figure out how to reply to a civil complaint.
Oh my God.
And the entire time I am like shitting my pants, like I am thinking I'm definitely going down for this case because like I don't know what I'm doing. Like it was a very complicated case. We won't get into it.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
So my brother calls me in like November, and he's like, we're just talking, it's like late on a Saturday night, and he's like, we're like, he'd asked me earlier, he goes, you ever thought about doing any contracting work?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, if you find somebody that wants a lawyer that doesn't know anything, that wants to do some contracting.
I've got 60 days left on my Westlaw subscription.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
So he calls me and he goes, you want to go fly balloons in Afghanistan on like some late Saturday night? And I'm like, shit, if there's somebody stupid enough to take me to Afghanistan, let's do this thing. So I'm like staring down a $1,500 a month student loan payment.
Yeah, nobody. God, how scary is that?
Oh, I was shooting my pants.
Yeah.
I was like, getting shot at sounds like pleasant. Like,
No problem.
Yeah. So I went over as a contractor originally and paid off in that first year of contracting. Flying balloons in Afghanistan. Who'd have thought?
Okay.
And then I came back, and that's when I went to Yuma. It was in 2011-12. I was there running a training program for the U.S. Navy.
So you still flying balloons in Yuma?
Yeah, I was.
Do you have anything to do with that giant blimp that's up in YPG?
No, that's a different program, but I know those.
You know those guys? Yeah. Because we go down to Lake Martinez.
That's a different one. I think you're talking about the one by Lake Martinez. I do know that one.
Yeah, they're nice guys. We've met them riding races out there.
Yeah.
I actually had this conversation with someone. I was just talking to my girlfriend about it because we were, back and forth on properties and all that. And so I had a similar experience to you in the recession. Right? So I opened the doors on a lumber yard and I sold like beautiful high-end lumber.
I've seen the tables.
I opened the doors in February of 2008, and I'd had a 3-year run just making money hand over fist. I was like, I got this game licked. I'm 27 or 8.
And you haven't been hearing the whispers of like that housing is crashing in 2007.
Yeah, and I'm so far removed from the game because all I dealt with were these high-end architects, right? So like these guys, I mean, they had money that never ran out. And then all of a sudden, the world, like October of 08, I'm like, wait, the phone's on. Like, no one's picking up.
I was in.
But it makes you so much more concerned. I was talking to Michelle about this. He's saying, with the properties I get, and like, what you're talking about, it makes. I feel like I'm literally scarred for life, right? Had someone offered me, money to go fly balloons in Afghanistan and make a bunch of done, right? Absolutely, anything is better than watching the world end.
Yeah.
But it makes you. I think that's where
this is where I realize that I am a terrible investor. Like I challenge. There are some people that are really good at it. That are at good investing. I will admit I am a terrible investor. What I am good at is I'm a good saver. Like I'm a good buy and hold.
Yeah.
I was so
growing up in the Midwest helps too.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's my point. I even went to school. My undergraduate's in finance.
Yeah.
What did I do? Like, it's 2010. The market is still down. I'm over there for making 6 figures, doing really, really well.
Yeah.
And what do? I pay off all my student loans instead of just buying basic S&P 500 stock market, which would have doubled in another year and a half.
Yeah.
And I could have paid off my student loans then and still had the exact same amount in the bank. Like, this is where there's a certain part of the Midwestern mentality of like just pay off all your bills and do this everything. Of playing it also like I should have just been playing it when everybody else is afraid, right? Like I should have been going at it, but I am such a sissy. So
yeah. Look, listen, man. I get it, right? Six SWAT guys kicking down the door. I'm like, all right, there's $300 for a front book. That doesn't bother me, but the financial risk. And I think everyone I've talked to, kind of in, we're collectively in we'll call it the second half of our 30s right now, right? So everyone kind of in that range, you got their teeth kicked in. Yeah. Like there's a little bit of just you're scarred for life, Yeah. I mean, and it's just like I look at. Same thing, deals I've done, like with the office building when I bought that, I took the most conservative pussy ass route to get that building and the financing. Like, I probably threw away $25 grand in banking fees just for the security of knowing that I wasn't gonna get burned.
You have to leave yourself out though. Because at this point I can't afford to start over. No. So like that's the part that I'm like always.
Yeah, because you can't go back and fly balloons again.
Yeah.
That business is over. So.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not doing that anymore. Like that was a one time.
Yeah.
Like I still, it's led to a good career. Like that's the crazy part about it is that it did lead to a career with the government.
Sure.
And that's been fine. But like I the whole point is of investing and like doing this and saving and really pushing yourself is that like I don't even want to rely on the one job in case something happens. Like, you got to build. I want to build something off to the side. You give myself outs and outs and outs. So you just got
absolutely.
Like, I love my condo at the other place. The reason I love it is I bought that one at a sweet time. My mortgage and association on that place is less than $600 a month.
Oh my God, I love it.
Like I feel like that is my fallback. Like if everything goes wrong, I will hunker down and live in it for $600 a month.
Yeah, and you're good. Eat some ramen, do some push-ups, and watch Netflix.
Exactly.
Call it a day.
Worst case scenario, that's where I'm at.
And that's so interesting too, because like a lot of people I talk to, it's everyone kind of has like I have that rabbit fallback plan. And it's like, listen, do I want to wind up living in the apartment building in this spot? No. But if the world ended, right? Could I do it? Like, make it, clean it up, live in one, rent out the other 3, and not have a mortgage and just, wait it out? Absolutely.
Well, and it comes down to like I think in that time period when you're in 2008, 2009, 2010, you really saw like what will I put up with? Like what will I do to get by? And like for me, that was I'm gonna go to Afghanistan and live on a small patrol base with like 20 British soldiers and 40 Afghan nationals. And like you're shit in a bag, outdoor showers. There's no hot. You're eating MREs for 6 months at a time. Like we're talking. That's it. Like, and I said yes. Give me more. Like I love that lifestyle. I was like,
take it.
I was like, no internet, no like you're just.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah,
you got
you're
a
just
mission
there.
and you got to do it.
Washing your clothes by hand, like you're.
But and then you come back, and I mean that's because it's giving you the tools and wherewithal to come back here and do. I mean,
well, like you know if you can stand that.
You got some money coming in, like you got, and it's amazing how that kind of stuff pays off. Like you can't. I've talked to a couple people and even had them on the show here, and like the people who've done the trial by fire, like they've come out of it for the most part. Like, everyone's got some scars, everyone's got some war stories, but they figured it out. And they will put up with some heavy stuff. And I think it really makes you kind of maybe not a better investor, but like more of you're kind of in it for the long haul, right? And you know that, like I get that from you, is where, because I coach these young knuckleheads at the office and I love them to death. I know they're gonna be like, hey, what's up, guys? But like they're in the fast money business, and I don't understand that. Like I hear them talking, they're like, I'm gonna get a Ferrari, and I'm like, I have never had a picture of a Ferrari on my wall. Like, why would you want that?
I've never felt older than when I bought my Buick. But it was the best damn value. I'm so embarrassed to say that I drive one. There's no doubt about it. But when
ladies,
it's the
he's
best,
single, by the way. Just let me know.
Exactly.
Listen, that Buick is a very comfortable car, okay? I want you to know that.
Yeah, and you have no idea.
No, I do. It drives like a living room with 4 wheels on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You put a lace doily on the dash.
It has all the options in it. Like, what can I say? But it is a goddamn Buick. I'm sorry about that. I'm embarrassed.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, those are the types of experiences that, they cement, like, one, you know how to do it, and then it's gotten you to where it is, I mean, the whole point to that was like that I don't have, like you said, I don't have the Ferrari on my wall. I don't want that. Like, I would much rather drive something that is like completely practical. Sure.
And then like just to have like a showpiece.
Yeah.
Because it would be nothing to go out. I could be driving an Escalade right now.
Sure. But what's the point?
It's not practical for what I need.
No. Yeah. No, you don't want to do that. But it's interesting how that works, because like I said, you and I went through, half the country apart. You were in Minnesota, I was in Atlanta, right? We didn't know each other at the time. Like, that experience, I mean, it forged a lot of people.
So how did you get yourself extracted from the lumber business then?
Dude, I had to fight it out, because I borrowed a little bit of money from my old man, and I literally had to slug it out for 3 years. I mean,
borrowing money, especially borrowing money from
family, and like, you can't let that go, right? Like, it is not an option to default. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So you literally, you have to slug it out. It was, I can remember, oh God, dude, the stories. One, I got really good at sales. So I tell everybody, like, my first real high pressure sales job was keeping myself out of bankruptcy in a recession, selling building products.
Where no one's building.
No one's built, like, dude, no one was put together a birdhouse. And I used to sell, I mean, dude, so you scrambled, right? Like, I had one truck that I had to turn in, right? It was a lease. I said, guys, you can't do it, right? You got to take it. If you need to sue me, get in line, but I'm fighting. They were cool about it, so we got rid of that. Drove my old, I still have that black diesel I have. 393,000 miles we just turned over the other day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't kill her. And I mean, I slugged through it, you know? Staying at home, cooking food, eating cheap, you know, like split the rent up with 3 guys. You know, I did what I did. I went without health insurance for like 2 years. It was so scary. Yeah, man. I mean, it was really tough. And then probably about a year before I moved out to Arizona, I just said, you know, I'd gotten it to basically back where I had a little bit of money, gotten everything kind of paid off and stacked a bit back, and I just said, I'm done, right? Shut the business down. I had a big email list with all my clients, you know, final goodbye email. Thank you all for everything, and just, I'm out, guys, deuces. And I came out here, you know.
The fact that you scrambled through it though, and managed to like claw back to where you.
That is awful.
That's a book right there in and of itself, honestly, just because there's not many businesses in the building trade. If you were a Lowe's or a Home Depot, sure.
You did okay.
Okay.
No.
Well, like they managed to make it through, right?
They did, but you know, they were floating on cheap debt, right? And that's not something, you know, I didn't have that option. Don't even talk about a loan from a bank.
No.
Right? Like, just not even an option.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, I missed one of my best friend's bachelor parties. A builder stiffed me for, I think, 10 grand. You know, and at the wrong time, right? I was doing like 300,000 a year in sales. The wrong $10,000 hit at the wrong time in a business like that. It does, dude. I remember sitting at home, like sitting in the basement, like
I got bills right now, and I got no cash.
I got nothing for it. And it's just like, I don't know, getting punched in the stomach a lot.
That's ridiculous.
So, but it does. I mean, that experience, you know, you bring that now, like good economy, real estate investing, like, you know, you know how it is. I mean, you're roofing in South Dakota. You just don't get bent out of shape about small shit. You know,
I can always swing a hammer, man. I'm not afraid of that.
Or like, okay, the guy did brandish a pistol on a mom and 2 kids, but you know,
he didn't do it to me.
He didn't do it to me. Nobody got hurt, right? Like,
this is that situation though that I say, like, it will resolve itself when we just don't renew the lease. Like, I'm a non-confrontational guy, and for all the things that I am definitely. Even if I argue with somebody about recycling, I'm really not that confrontational.
But it is. I mean, it's one of those experiences. Like, it forges you, and you got to deal with it. You know. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's obviously gotten you far. You know. I mean, you got the condo taken care of, and like I said, I mean, half of being a landlord. You know, this is like, you can't let the smoke go.
No.
And then the death, like, if you start off and you're here, and this is, you know, small shit, it's like, oh, the sink's leaking, right? And that bothers you. You get a couple years in here, you're like, I'm 9 millimeters.
I'm at the point now, like, I just say this, is the insurance paid for?
Yeah.
Like, as long as the insurance is up to date and paid for, we are golden. Like, that is it. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen right there, is that your insurance doesn't cover you for something.
Yeah, and then you have a problem.
You know? I mean, your renter could trash your place. There's a million recourses. It might take you a long time to get it back, but eventually, you'll make it back. You'll recover something at some point.
And there's like. But you know, early on in your career, right? So like you bought this cheap condo, and then you were making the decision to move out. Like, you know, so in your new place, it's gorgeous, right? Did a really nice job on that, by the way. You know, like there's got to be some fear there. You're like, all right, I'm jumping out of my conservative. You know, like that Midwesterner in you is just shaking in his boots.
Yeah, and then you go and you put it up on Craigslist, and you start getting applications, and you're like 450 credit score, 480. You know,
Did you see a 450?
like something close to that.
Wow, my record low is a 520.
There was a couple that were below 500.
Wow, that takes dedication. It truly does.
Yeah,
You gotta work.
you truly don't. There's zero fucks given at that point. Like, you are like, if you are dumb enough to lend me money, I ain't paying it.
Yeah.
So if you're dumb enough to rent me something, you can be guaranteed that in like 2 months you won't see a rent.
There's going to be an issue with the funding.
Yeah. So
wow.
my first few were pretty bad.
Yeah. So you had some bad tenants too.
I had some bad like just applications.
Okay.
It took me a while. Like, this guy was like the cream of the crop. Like, he's my first tenant. In all honesty,
really,
he's the only tenant I've had in the place. He's been there for 3 years, right? That's my point.
Wow.
I'm like, he's been pretty much a model tenant. You know, like, if all you want is for him to pay on time and not do any damage, he doesn't do any damage. He's, you know,
and the place is clean. Have you checked it out?
Yeah. I do a yearly check-in. Where and I'll go in, like, I'll give him a couple filters so he can change the filters.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I do that. I'm not just like an absentee landlord cashing checks. But I do leave him alone for his part. There's been a few little issues over the year. You know what I mean? He had a dog when he first moved in, and the neighbors been complaining because there was a smell or something. But he took care of it right away. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, overall, like, he hasn't been a messy tenant. He actually did moving in. There was a little bit of damage to one of the corners moving a dresser.
Yeah.
He fixed it. Like, I saw him fix it. Like, like, what do I care? You know what I mean? Like,
let him have it.
Yeah.
Some drywall mud, some paint. Go nuts.
Yeah, so to me, I was like, okay, well, what am I? This is the part that sucks about it. Like, it's time to move on. It's time for the next. I have to start doing something different because I am that conservative that if everything's good, I just won't change it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's time to start. I do. Like, unfortunately, the push was like some guy branching up with a mom and 2 kids. Like, that's not like, all right, time to cut bait. Yeah.
I don't know. Have you had to do any project management on your? Have you done any big remodels?
Just on the one I'm living in now. I gutted that. I took that inside. The kitchen was walled off at the time.
Oh, that's
and I remember
right.
I went and ripped all that out, and there was a sub ceiling in there.
Oh, Christ.
But I kept the cabinets in. You know what I mean? Like, so it was interesting. I remember this. You know, you've given me a lot of good leads on contractors and stuff like that, and I was trying to find somebody who would build a soffit above those cabinets. And I called one of these Angie's List, like, you know, like maintenance or whatever and I'm like, I'll get out of this by just hiring a handyman, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's a concrete ceiling, and let me say this, when they built these things in the 60s and they went with the venting, I don't know who did, they didn't have like the cut saws that we have now. They just like smashed holes in the ceiling. So like when you get there and the venting's going up there, it's this like crazy cut off like triangle. Like, why is this hole the size that it is? Like, it is very rough.
They actually used like spare Soviet mortars to just.
I don't know how they did it. Like, but I mean, it's 12-inch slab concrete that they. The ceiling is. It's every 4.5 to 5 feet. This
was built like back in the days, like duck and cover. Right?
Yeah, so it's all sub-block construction, and between the first and second, the first floor is all concrete slab, second floor is concrete slab between the two.
Wow.
You can't hear anything between the two unless somebody's walking in 12-inch stripper heels. That's the only way you can hear something.
Wow, that's kind of awesome.
It is. It's great, and plus I'm on the bottom level, so it costs nothing to cool it.
That's fantastic.
So
that has not been my experience.
I mean, like during the summer, my AC bills are like $100. 150 if I'm home.
Don't take this the wrong way, but upwards.
Yeah, it's insane. So this, but the guy comes in to look at it, and the venting, and there's this weird, like I told you, there's a weird angle, and he looks at me, and he goes, this is how I knew like this guy's a moron. He goes, man, that concrete's actually slumping. I can't do anything with that. I don't know. He goes, you have to take the cabinets down, and I can build that, and then we can put the cabinets back up. I'm like, you telling me you can't build a sheetrock thing 12 inches down from the ceiling? And first of all, that's not. I took my 4-foot level and put it right up on the concrete, it's dead nuts on. There's no sink. I'm like, you're getting fooled by the visual. I'm like, you can leave now. And then they asked me to review after they gave their quote. And I was like, you guys, like, this is why. the only, in my mind, like the only way to really find good is you have to talk to people like you, somebody who's actually seen the quality of how somebody works. Yeah. Because the guy you gave me for the floor, the guy you gave me for the paint, the guy you gave me for the well, no, I think the countertops was from Forrest, but you gave me some good people.
Got good people too.
Yeah, and like between you two, like I was hooked up. Like the general management of that property, the renovation was so easy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did the whole thing for less than like 20 grand with granite countertops.
Oh my God! Yeah, you crushed that one.
Right?
But it is. It's all about who you know. You know, and right now I'm in this apartment reno, and there is no labor left.
See, I was at a great time where it was just starting to like pull back. So everybody was like, "We'll make time for you."
Yeah. And right now, I mean, it is bottom of the barrel. Like these guys just. It's kind of like
there's never a happy medium.
Do both of your eyes move more or less in the same direction? Okay, how many fingers? You got 10 fingers. You know what? Here's a hammer. I'll pull it out. But yeah, it's crazy. And everybody I know in construction is that way. Like no one can find any labor, and you just have to. You got to grit your teeth and understand. Or like,
but what are they building? Because they're not building anything low end.
No, it's all high-end stuff.
Or is it apartments that they're doing?
Apartments, healthcare is going crazy. So one of my buddies has a business that does flooring in hospitals.
Okay.
They are booked out for the next 12 months. He goes, every time I send in a bid, I go a little higher just to see when they're going to say no, and they keep saying yes.
That's crazy.
I think that happened right about 2006 too. But it's one of those things. Like there's not enough labor.
But where's the bubble though? Like that's where's the lending?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know if it's
coming back, man. I had these apartments. Like I'm not gonna say standards are where they were 10 years ago. Excuse me, that would have been 11 or 12 years ago. But it was a little spooky how easy I slid into this loan.
Really?
And I had to pay a little more, right? I paid, I think, 35 or 38 basis points over a full doc, but they based it on the lease. They did all that, and I mean, it was remarkably quick. There were a few corners cut on the part of the lender. They emailed me to ask me to do a few things that were blatantly illegal, from company emails, but they got it done very quickly. It's 30-year fixed money.
On a rental property, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome. So you can actually it's called lease-based funding. Right? So it's a program, of course, the stench comes out of California, the drifts eastwards, same deal, right? Countrywide originated there, same deal, but 80% loan to value, and if your leases cover the P&I, they'll fund you. Now,
I'm wondering because
here's the interest disparity. So, full doc loan, my credit scores were in like the 715, 720 range. So good but not great. Full doc loan was on non-owner occupied was like 5.75, right? And I had to do 6.375. So it worked out to be on a loan this size, it was like another $112 a month on a payment. It was under 120.
Yeah.
And for me, like full doc loan would have taken 60 days, and they closed this one in 14. For $112 a month, done. Right? I'll pay it. I don't give a shit. And
you only put 20% down?
That was it. And it was 20% loan to value, right? Not loan to cost. So I was able to buy it at a deep enough discount where I actually came a little less than 20% out of pocket.
Well, that's what gave you obviously money for the renter. That's what you needed was to put into it so you can actually get it to the next level.
And
that neighborhood is really changing. Like there's people have put some money into it. It has every ability to be a very well managed cash flowing property.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I ran the math on it. It's going to be just fine.
Yeah. And
just fine.
But that's the crazy part though, is like you're buying them at those discounts, whereas I know that about like you get in there first, or where there's something that's not even on them.
Yeah.
You're not messing with stuff on the MLS.
This was on the MLS.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a whole different strategy about that. But I gave them what they wanted. I got them into escrow.
Garrett, right? Garrett, would you like me to?
Yes, please.
Got them into escrow, and then, dude, I hammer them like a 10. Just everything you find wrong with the building, the tenants.
I tried your strategy on that threeplex, and the moment I came back with the sewer is a junk. You know what I mean? All that
The one
other
in
stuff.
Mesa?
Yeah, and the guy's like, I'm gonna take the other offer.
Yeah, and at that point, like, to me, that's the hallmark. Like, that's not a deal.
No, you're right.
That's the way I look at him. Is, you know, this guy. Actually, I hammered this one down so far in escrow that we had to readjust the loan amount 3 days before closing because it fell below the federal guidelines for seller consent. It was illegal for them to concede so much. So we actually had to mess with the top line numbers on the deal in order to conform to the federal lending guidelines.
But that's my point. Is like you find these people that they need to sell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, all the hallmarks are there, right? Like, this place hadn't seen a hammer or a paintbrush since the Reagan administration, right? I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
Bad tenants, you know, I mean.
But that's where the risk comes in, and I think like that it's hard when you know that after you buy the place, if you're going to spend 80 or 100 grand cash to put into it, dude, before you ever see anything coming back to you, it's scary. Oh my God, this is a familiar face.
Yeah, no, it is, man. It's super fucking scary. But you know, I mean, it's like you did. I mean, I've been on roofs, like you've done it, and you swing a hammer. Like, I know I can get it done, and that's that. So
yeah, I'd be lying if I said that. I kind of miss that stuff a little bit, but I wouldn't want to have to do it. Like,
yeah.
the fact that you're kind of getting in it and rolling up your sleeves, do it. But that's the way you actually make money.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, when you get to a certain level, when you're dealing with enough properties, you know, then I guess it's not worth your time.
No,
but in the
not.
first beginning stages doing that thing,
yeah.
you really have to do a lot of yourself.
do.
Which is why, like, when I did that remodel, like, there was a lot of stuff I was doing for myself. Like,
you got to strap on the tool belt and get it done, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, last winter, you saw me, right? We were painting the office. I was up on the roof rolling out of white stuff. I mean, I think it's this property and then the next one. I'm still going to have to roll on my sleeves, and then after that, we'll be smooth sailing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once you've got enough cash flow coming in where the money's there, then you can spend that little bit of extra to have somebody else like kind of manage the chaos and not worry about it. But when you're trying to build it,
dude,
you kind of relish that though, like the being in it phase.
Oh, for sure. Well, and it's also, you know, I mean, you know this. Like, this is my conservative, like, holding. I want it done the way I want it done.
Yeah.
Because these knuckleheads on site, right? They're coming in, they're gonna bang out the roof, and they're gonna leave. If the roof fucks up in 5 years, guess whose phone rings? This guy, right? Like on your remodel, like if you're doing an Airbnb and your contractor slaps in the shittiest toilet he can find, when that thing backs up, guess whose phone's ringing? Yours.
Exactly.
Right? So there is some value there, and like, you know,
to making sure that it's done right.
Done right. It's like, yeah, it might cost a little more, it might take a little longer, but you know, I was literally, before I went to dinner with my brother last night, you know, Michelle was doing whatever, I'm at the computer diagramming, like, all right, the SWAT team's been here, I got a vacant unit coming up, and so how are we going to do this, right? Like, dude, I got to dig out the sewer main, I got to replace the HVAC, I got the whole kitchen's coming out. I mean, that place is going to be studs and concrete. That's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so it's like that money's got to come from somewhere. And I kind of factored it in. I was like, all right, we need to. When I went into this, I met them. I said, okay, let's cut some fancy stuff, slide that money over there. Because I mean, you have to do it, you know. And sure enough, like, I had a guy come in.
It's funny the way life comes in and just says, all right, well, you thought you were going to do it then, but you're actually going to do it right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, where can I come up with 10 grand for a kitchen?
Oh, what was Mike Tyson's trainer? I always forget the guy's name, but it was, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, I feel like, hell, man, that's been this whole conversation. So, yeah. Well, dude, I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Super fun to talk about all the shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm sorry your lease isn't getting renewed. No,
it's a nice push.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I think you're going to do just fine. But Yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate it. Cheers. I mean, here's to many more. Guys, appreciate you watching. Next episode of Beer and Stories coming up at some point. In the meantime, be good. Thank you, Kelala.